This morning, Billy looked like any other boy, but as the moon rose, he turned into a werewolf. He used new Pa's Halloween makeup kits. His friends did too. Look, Mike's a vampire. Amy's a ghost. Pa's makeup is safer than masks. It never blocks vision, and it's hypoallergenic too. So watch your kids turn into the creatures they really are with new Pa's Halloween makeup kits.
A knife deep into his chest. Hundreds and hundreds of crows just circling and circling.
Welcome, Lo-Fi Lounge, to Film Talk. This is a series where we either take an existing film or something new that's coming out and get to talk with principals involved. And today we have Robert Leroy, and we're going to discuss his new series, multi-density meta-series, a piece that's called Dark Gospels. And it's a very unique process of how it got put together. And it's going to be coming out in streaming services very, very soon. So we want to get a chance to see some clips of it, but then also hear from Robert, how did you get here from then?
It's funny, here is like 8 feet there.
Right there. How'd you get from there to here?
The set that we built was like right behind this curtain.
Yeah.
Which is true. So
at the Lo-Fi studio.
We used the Lo-Fi studio to actually build a room, a complete bedroom for a girl who was possessed. And the idea, so this is an atypical horror movie, and that's where you have to accept it. Right at the beginning, you say, this is not about jump scares or people being decapitated, or it's no like blood flying around. It's really a psychological. It's like Chris just said. It's layered. So we're actually turning out. Dark Gospels is a 10-episode, first season 10-episode, 45 minutes per episode series. Then, as the prequel to that, but we're actually releasing it basically simultaneously, we're releasing on YouTube a 9-hour, it's 5 minutes per, two episodes per week, of 5 minutes per episode, and it'll be over basically like 6 months. And there's a companion piece that becomes the meta part of it, that we actually did because the inspiration of Dark Gospels actually for me was, I had read this article about this Sister Maria Cafasisia, and who was a nun in a cloistered nunnery in late 1600s in Sicily, and so what had happened is that she was put in when she was 18 years old, and she was the daughter of the first Prince of Sicily. So he was given the title of first prince. His daughter gets put into this nunnery, and when she's around late 20s, early 30s, she started having these kind of interesting episodes. And so it could have been epilepsy, it could have been we probably would have a lot of explanations for it today. But what came out of it, she ended up writing this letter. And so anybody can go look up this. It's the letter from Satan. And so this letter had been around. This letter from Satan had been around since 1665, I think, when she wrote it. And it's written it's written as a letter, but nobody could translate it until about 7 years ago, when they were using decryption coding, decryption software that they used to break dark web stuff that's going on.
Oh, okay.
And so they used this decryption software. And so she always said Satan, she had been possessed by Satan, and he wrote this. And And what's written on the letter, which is strange because they've kept this letter, it's still at that nunnery, it's still in this cloistered nunnery, and it's kept on display. It actually says something. And so I use that as the inspiration for what happens in the story, is this dark gospel. There's a letter from Satan. So that's what I'm saying. This is not a typical show. I mean, you have to be willing to really pay close attention, because on the series Dark Gospels, it starts, if you watch it, and I hopefully some of you do, it starts off with the girl's death. And so in the first 5 minutes, the girl in the exorcism dies. Which you actually go through the entire journey. In the YouTube version, you'll actually sit through, it's 9 hours. And we actually did, and that's what made it really interesting. We did that section of the exorcism. So we actually cast that, and we went through thousands of people to do the casting of that particular part. We built a special set, and we had the whole thing controlled by like things would lock up, doors would shut, the bed would lift and everything. And we cast a mother and father, the daughter who's possessed. We have 3 priests in it. We have a psychologist, and we have 2 neighbors that come in. So all this cast moves in and out of this room over a 1-take 9-hour thing. And so we have 5 cameras running, and you actually will watch the entire 9-hour segment, because it's like watching Mahabharata in a way. And so it has this Peter Sellers kind of thing to me. It's like, what am I watching? And so it becomes, so you go on this journey with this family and these priests, and it's, to me, what inspired that component of it was Hitchcock's Lifeboat, as I'd mentioned. It's like, I watched Lifeboat, and I said, well, what makes Lifeboat so amazing, and kind of Jaws captures that. When Jaws comes to life is when they sit into that small room.
Tell a story.
And each of them matching scars and everything. But then when he talks about
the sharks,
1,400 went in, 300 came out,
right?
Kind of thing. And that's what gave me the inspiration of this room. I said, what if we took a cast of people, gave them a structured script, but have them be so good also at improv that they have to sustain a 9-hour performance.
Yeah.
Which is a really challenging. So we had to find incredible actors. And a lot of, there's sections that are completely in Spanish. And so all of a sudden, and I intentionally cast one of the actors, so the non-Spanish speaking actors don't speak any Spanish. And I forced them to kind of get frustrated in the scene. And she could tell me what's going on. Can you tell me what's going on? Because it creates these, even within a room, you're creating this environment of tension. And so what I wanted to do was create an environment of tension where the girl who's possessed deconstructs through the 9 hours, each person in that room. So she really kind of goes in, and what happens within that, kind of a cloistered environment, so to speak, it becomes this story within a story. So that is the prequel to Dark Gospels, but that alone is a movie. That became, we realized, it's an amazing series, because it's like, it's 5 cameras, so you see a screen of 5 cameras, and only one's moving around. The videographer for the church, I forgot to mention the one character. So the videographer for the church is walking around with the one camera. We have 3, so you have 3 other cameras on top. We have one side camera, one camera moves around. Prepped it for months ahead of time. And I knew the second we set everything up, I'm looking at monitors, we're controlling all the lights going on and off and everything. I go, but once I said action, if I had to cut the whole, it loses what the momentum was going to do. So there was no way to cut at that point. So once I said action, it has to run the entire length of the story, or it wasn't going to work. So it became, that was a challenge, which you'll actually see some cuts from that section. There's a really great scene where the mother sets up the storyline when she goes, and you'll see it in this part where she goes, who's this person with these cameras? You come into my house. So she explained, because you actually see the very first things, you see these cameras going up in the environment.
Right.
In which we should send that cut as well. So you actually see the setup. It becomes a very meta experience that you're seeing that within itself. So we shot the 9-hour piece, then we come back later and we deconstruct everything that happened in that room through Dark Gospels. And Dark Gospels it's a crime story.
No, this can't be real. This isn't real. This isn't real. If you wait till the sun sets, you will see just how real this is. And then it will be too late. Do as I had told you. I can't. Get my bag!
Yeah, so it's more of a suspense. You're tracking down the murderer, right? And
Yeah.
it's all said and done. This girl has died, and all this backstory is out there, but Dark Gospels weaves into a whole other piece. And so it's not so much just a horror piece, although there's some horror elements in it. It's sort of more of a suspense film.
It's a suspense film, but also because I'm a huge fan of Russian writers and the complexity of storytelling, it's the kind of story that you have to let it breathe.
I have no idea.
What was she talking about earlier? What was she talking about some death or what was she talking about?
Delusional. Did you hear my wife? Delusional.
Okay, so see, if it's delusional, we're not going to do any exorcism because it's delusional.
No.
So we can leave.
There are certain things that she was saying.
Doctor.
What did you say?
No, we can leave because it's delusional.
I'll be the one who decides if she's being delusional, okay?
You know, you can't sit down, doctor. You've been standing for almost 2 hours.
You have to sit and just like as if you're going to read a novel, let it play out in front of you. You have to let the story because it will take you on a journey. On August 21st, 2002, a young woman's body was discovered on a dirt trail in the San Gabriel foothills. The body was partially wrapped in plastic.
With the ringing of this bell, we lift the veil twixt heaven and hell to call the spirits to us now as we make this sacred vow.
Manner of death, homicide. Cause of death, multiple stab and incised wounds of head, neck, trunk, and upper extremities, with one stab wound penetrating left skull into brain. Three stab wounds penetrating right back into chest cavity. Another stab wound at the lateral right chest penetrating right lung, and multiple wounds of upper extremities.
Different energy than Maria's, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Are we talking to the devil?
You're right there. Oh, you're gonna feel it, yeah. With this.
Well, the jukebox plays when dawn gets near. Everybody will be high on beer in the night. Oh yeah, in the night. In the wee hours between midnight and day. Now nobody here got to stand in line. Come on in, son, have a good time in the night. Oh yeah, in the night. In the wee hours between midnight and day. Go, Jerry, go. Girls out here get real rough, calling for whiskey and sneaking up in the night. Oh yeah, in the night. Now in the wee hour between midnight and day. Oh yeah, in the night. In the night. Oh yeah, in the night. In those wee hours between midnight and day. Go, Bradley, go. Oh yeah. Go, go, go. Nobody here got to stand in line. Come on in, son, have a good time in the night. Oh yeah, in the night. In the wee hours between midnight and day. Turn it around. In the wee hours between midnight and day. In the wee hours between midnight and day.
monsters. Introducing Frankenstein, Phantom of the Opera, Dracula, and Creature from the Black Lagoon.
The monsters with glow-in-the-dark features.
Frankenstein is in a foul temper. Dracula flies in, fangs bared. Creature surfaces, dripping with rage. Phantom shows his fiendish face. I can't look. Is he ugly? The monster battle rages on. It's a howl.
The monsters with glow-in-the-dark features, each sold separately from Remco.
just a little bit.